Hello, this is the video for the parents of my peer tutors. I just want to take a moment to kind of share with you guys how peer tutors are graded in my class. The first thing that I wanted to show you was this peer tutoring Google Classroom document. All of my peer tutors are members of this Google Classroom. When I trained them back in the beginning of August, I gave everybody a disclosure document, and it had a Google Classroom code on there where they were able to join this particular website right here. This is where I post all of my written assignments. There's only two ways that I grade peer tutors. One is through classroom participation, and the other one is through these written and reading assignments. Just real quickly, the first assignment that we had at the very beginning of the semester was called an introduction training video right here. It was a 3 to 4 minute video that the peer tutors had to watch for me and then answer some multiple choice questions. The next assignment was called How to Act Around People with Disabilities. And in this particular assignment, they had to read an article and then they had to interview the person that they peer tutored and ask them some questions about themselves, and then they turned those answers back into me. Fairly simple assignment. The one I gave them last week was called Giving Good Directions, where they had to read an article about how to give a student directions when they're working with them. And then they had a worksheet to fill out after they were done reading. And then this week, same thing. I just barely assigned this one. Is called Praising. And same thing, they have to read an article about the 4 tips that they could use to make a good praise statement when they're working with someone in my class. And then they had to answer some questions on a separate assignment. So those are the only written assignments that I've assigned so far in my peer tutoring class. Each assignment is worth about 15 to 20 points. If they miss turning in something, that will lower their grade because there's only 4 assignments so far. So the total number of points is not that great yet. If students are missing something, they can turn it in late. If it's more than 2 weeks late, it gets half credit. So be aware of that. But they can always turn in missing assignments. The other way that I grade peer tutors is through daily class participation points. It's super easy to get those points. I've told all the peer tutors that all they have to do in order to get those points is be here with a willing attitude, a good attitude, and ready to help. They get 5 points a day with those participation points. Super easy to get those points. The only thing that would hinder or not getting those points would be if they are just not participating for whatever reason. They are looking at their phones all period long, or they're just sitting and doing homework when they're actually supposed to be helping someone, or they're just not following directions. So most of the time my peer tutors get all of those points because I have a really good group of peer tutors. They work a lot in my classroom helping my students one-on-one, and then sometimes my peer tutors go out to other classes where my students are at and help them in that class wherever they may be. So peer tutors are really important to me because they are able to fill in where I can't always be, or my aides can't always be. And plus they it's a good friendship opportunity for my life skills students to become friends with the students that peer tutor them, and vice versa. The peer tutors have a great opportunity to become great friends with someone who happens to have a disability. So I have loved having all of your students in my class this semester. They've been a huge help. They've all done very wonderful, and I just enjoy having them. Thanks.